Once again, back at it in the Lions Den. Today we're gonna cover dressing and how that translates into your mannerisms, and your dealings with people. How you doing today?
Hey, what's up, my brother? I'm fine, smooth, taking it easy, trying to get some more money.
Oh yeah, everybody's trying to do that.
Yeah. So, what we talking about today?
We're talking about dressing style, appeal.
Well, first of all, when I talk about dressing and style, I don't know if people know this, but I'll give them, some info on it. At once upon a time, I used to model for Murray shoes, those the gator shoes that you see in all the advertisement and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And how I ended up getting the deal was I used to shop at this store called Biagio in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And it was a brother by the name of Muhammad. He used to order all my shoes. So I had a question for him one time. I said, look, man, I said, do you know these people personally? He said, yeah, I know Luigi, who was the owner of Murray Gators. He said, I know him personally. I said, can you tell them that when they design the shoes, can they put my name in the shoe? Can they put an extra color, a gator, like if this gator, if it's blue and white, can they throw another, like a little purple or something, or lavender on there or whatever, can they put a different color blue? And so I started designing my own shoes. And the reason why I wanted these little extra colors on my shoes because I wanted to stand out. When I walk in the room, I didn't want no one to have on the shoe that I had on. And that's what dressing is all about. When you're a stylist or you're a type of person who like to stand out, you got to make sure that you have the right colors.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can't wear a purple suit, but if you wear a purple suit and you put the right tie, say your tie might have multicolors in it,
yeah,
but it might have that lavender in it, and then the handkerchief got that color, and then you knock it off with some shoes that are just, totally contrast to, what's going on with your upper body.
Yeah.
It's going to draw that attention that you need, and that's one thing I always taught people, like in Pimps Up, Hoes Down, the documentary, I was telling people that women love colors.
Yeah.
Women love, they don't mind a man being ostentatious or being, way out there just as long as he got the right color combinations.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys today, I see them wearing Robin jeans, I see them wearing True Religion. It's okay to wear True Religion. Okay, but if I had on a pair of Robin jeans, I have the Robin jeans on, I have the Louis Vuitton with the multicolors in it, but then when I get to my top part, I might throw a little fur, a little mink around my collar, or I might put a mink patch on the pocket or something. I might have my designer or my seamstress to sew some mink on the pants.
Yeah, to give it a different twist.
I don't want to just walk in with some Robin jeans on. I want to take over the room. I want everyone to see that Ken is in the building. And that's how you want to be when you dressing and you want to get attention. When you spend a lot of money for a particular item, anything you could do to enhance that item will automatically enhance you because you're making a statement. For example, if you see the suit that I wore in the movie Pimps Up, Hoes Down, I had on a lavender suit. It was a Versace suit. The suit was thousands by itself.
Okay.
But if you look at the buttons was 24 karat real gold buttons. I had the buttons customized with the Methuselah. And each one of those buttons was like almost like $700-$800, just to make. It probably was more than that. I can't remember in particular, but I had them custom made. It was 3 buttons. Probably ran me about 3 bands just to make the buttons. No one probably even seen the buttons, but it was a conversational piece. So the people that dress and the people that competes with me, they can see that. They go like, oh, he got a twist, man. That man got real gold buttons, or he got gold buttons on that lavender suit.
Yeah.
What's going on with that? So when they ask me, like, man, where you get the buttons made? Oh, man, these made by my jeweler. These are real gold buttons. These are some top flight buttons. These buttons was made specifically for this suit. So that gives me that one of a kind status. And, that's what you want to do. If you want to be the top dude, if you want to be the coldest dude in the game, you have to always create your own style. Mm-hmm. You got to look different from everyone in the room. And it's easy to do that. Like I said, if you got some Robin jeans, say if they red, have your seamstress, go buy some mink from the mink store, have them to sew the mink just a little strip of mink right by the pocket where you put your hand at, and then put another mink, and then if you want to get, cold, like if you got on a jacket, you can have just the top part of the jacket where the stitch begins and ends. You can have that whole top, covered with mink. You know what I'm saying? Then you could probably have a mink button. I mean, you just got to do something different.
Yeah.
You can't dress like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be willing to wear the colors that other people ain't willing to wear, and that's what separates the live from the jive.
Mm-hmm.
The king from the peasants. You always see a king with a crown on his head. He got many diamonds. You see him wearing a robe. Men of stature, men who look at themselves as noteworthy, they always look different from everyone else. You never want to dress like no one else if you're calling yourself competing and calling yourself being a star or being that dude.
What would you say for someone who wants to get a nice piece of jewelry? Some people they go in the store and like, oh, I like that piece that's just sitting there versus, I want something, custom made, custom tailored to me.
Well, jewelry is based on detail.
Okay.
If a jeweler can't make it look like when I got a crown made, if you look over my pictures, you go to my Instagram or you go to my Facebook at Ken Ivy, you look at some of my pictures and you see my crown rings, you see my rings. My rings are detailed. That means that every aspect of the ring was perfectly set. Everything was organized. There's no runoff diamonds. There's no gold where it shouldn't be. Everything is perfectly set. And that's the difference between custom jewelry and jewelry in the middle of the mall. In the middle of the mall, you'll see a bunch of jewelry. You'll see one diamond a little darker than the other diamond, one diamond a little cloudier than the other diamond. The gold, may not look all that perfect or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to look at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you look at my jewelry, you say, damn, man, what is that you got on? Man, I like the way, people compliment like, man, that's different. I like the way you put that together. That's the type of response you want when you got custom jewelry. That's why I made crowns. I made my initials. I made treasure chests. You know what I'm saying? I designed all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? But I designed them because when I walked in the room, I wanted my rings to be begging for attention. And I want people to be like, wow, I never seen that before.
Yeah.
But if you got on a cross, everybody got a cross. You got on a Jesus head, everybody got on a Jesus head. But if you got your initials and say you got a jaguar over your initials, and then you got diamonds going in a circle, and then you might have another little something hanging from that, and you got it on a diamond chain, people know you didn't just buy that in the middle of the mall.
Yeah.
They know it's a custom piece. You know what I'm saying? If you got your name written out and it's specifically in your initials, people know that was a custom piece. So always wore custom jewelry, because one thing that brothers need to know, if somebody ever rob you and you got custom jewelry, then that jewelry is like a fingerprint.
Yeah.
It's one of a kind. If it end up in a pawn shop, irregardless to whether the pawn shop bought it legally, it was a stolen item, so they have to reimburse it. You know what I'm saying? They have to find the guy who they gave the money to. So that's another reason why I would customize my jewelry and take pictures of it, send it to my insurance company, because if something happened, the insurance company will call the pawn shops or send a memo to different pawn shops. Have you seen this ring?
Yeah.
And if it's custom and it's made specifically for you, it's easier for them to say, yeah. So you could get robbed and possibly get your jewelry back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that somebody will rob me, or I'm worried about somebody robbing me, or you could be in a hotel room and one of the maids come in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might went to McDonald's and you left your jewelry in the bag, and they steal the bag, and they swear up and down that they didn't steal the jewelry. I had that happen to me. And I had about $100,000 of jewelry in the bag. It came up missing. I was in D.C.
Yeah.
About 2 months later, the jewelry ended up in a pawn shop. They gave it away for nothing. I mean, like probably about $4,000. Top flight jewelry. And the people had to give me my jewelry back. You know what I'm saying? So, custom jewelry makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Plus, when a woman, you sit down, if you're in the game, well, when we was in the game, we sit down to a woman, the girls in the streets would know. They were like, he got flavor. He's original.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be with him. You know what I mean? That's what women would choose guys for, based on their flavor. That's why you see a lot of, guys in the game wearing, extravagant, customized jewelry, because they're trying to get that female's attention, and they want her to know that he's original and that he got original flavor. But like I said, also you can land a deal like I did. You know, I was buying so many Murray Gators, and I was dressing and I was designing so many pair of shoes that they eventually had me to design my own shoe. It was called the Pimpin Ken shoe, and they paid me. They gave me tons of free shoes. They put me in Source magazine. They put my posters in all of the stores that were carriers of the shoe at the time. So, you know, I mean, having flavor is very important, you know. I mean, you know, look at the artists out there that even though some of them look crazy as hell, look at the ones that's got individuality. You know, those are the ones that sell the most records. You know, I mean, they may look crazy, they may look strange, but they sell a lot of records. You know, look at Gucci Man. Gucci Man, he got this player thing going on right now. You know, with all the jewelry, you know, the slick, you know, Versace and so on and so forth, the Robert jeans, and you know he's winning right now because people want to be like him. He's creating the narrative. He's creating a story.
Now, would you say, you know, with having style and having custom pieces and, you know, dressing, you know, a particular way, that kind of ties into your mannerisms, how you deal with people? You know,
yeah, man. You know, when I used to go to the fight in Vegas, you know, like the black and white mink that I designed, you know, I designed my custom mink. I call it the skunk. I made it black and white. I made the buttons black and white. And I would go to Vegas. Yeah. And, man, the whole Vegas would be taking pictures with me. I wasn't even a celebrity then. People wanted to know who I was. People want to know, who are you? You know, you're somebody famous, right? Because I had so much individuality. I had my own character, I had my own style. And my style demanded respect. People would respect me. They would look up to me. They were like, wow, this dude here, he has personality, he has character. So, yes, your dress is a part of your character. Even when I was in the corporate world, you know, if I pull up with my Armani suit, because the Armani suit, it fits you like a glove. You see what I'm saying? This is not like a Sears sucker suit. You know what I mean? Those suits where the wrinkles and all that stuff be popping all up everywhere, and you know it just looks so cheap. You know, when you wear a Armani suit or you wear any of those top flight suits, you know, Versace, you know, even you know the polo suits, so on and so forth. Those suits are tailored, you know, to fit your body. So when people see you in a suit and they see you in a nice tie and they see you in some nice conservative shoes, you know, that may cost you might have one pair of Louis loafers, you know what I'm saying, they worth, you know, Gucci loafers, they worth, you know, $1,000. People in that industry, they understand what that is. They respect you more.
Yeah. I was gonna say too. Don't count out your eyewear, because I know through over the years you done been spotted in some spectacular eyewear too.
Oh yeah. I was one of the first. If you look at the dudes that's wearing gazelles now, if you go look at Pimps Up, Hoes Down, I had those gazelles 20 years ago. I was one of the first dudes that brought them out.
Okay.
You know, the other glasses, the Clogie glasses. You know what I'm saying? I brought them out. You know, I was always, when you have flavor, you don't worry about what people think. You dress for yourself. Mm-hmm. Like when I bought that black and white mink coat, that's one of the coats that made me famous, and that's one of the reasons why HBO wanted to do business with me, because when they seen that coat and they seen how I dressed and they seen my jewelry, they knew all these guys was players, they were street guys, but this guy here stood out. This guy looked it like no one else, and that's what dressing is all about. And I can tell you something, when I first came home from the penitentiary, everybody was wearing those baseball jackets, they was wearing the Jordans, and they was wearing the All-Stars, the Converse and stuff like that. Yeah. And that was the new thing, because the D-boys had took over the game.
Yeah, they had the leather Averexes and the Bookies and
you know, so a lot of the P's, you know, even was dressed in hip hop. You know, everybody was dressed in hip hop because it was the style. Yeah. I refused to dress like that. I came straight out the door wearing gators, you know what I'm saying, minks, you know, and dressing. I revolutionized my whole city. My whole city started wearing minks. All the D-boys started wearing minks. All the D-boys started wearing custom jewelry. They started going out to Gold Creations, where I would get my jewelry made in Milwaukee. You know, one of the greatest and one of the best jewelry makers in the world, my man Tony. You know, Italian guy, you know, Tony Cole with that jewelry. And all those dudes started going out there and getting their jewelry made. They started going to Lacris and Picris, where I got my minks at. They started going to Muhammad and buying more. I revolutionized the whole city of Milwaukee, because in my opinion, I said, there's no way if I'm hustling, I'm getting a lot of money, then I'm finna dress like the rest of these cats.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to dress, and if I'm getting money, I'm going to spend my money. You're going to be able to know that I'm getting money, and this time I'm going to show you I'm getting money, and I'm not going to be a regular. I'm not going to, we call it RN, a regular nigga. I'm not going to be an RN. I'm going to be, you know, a top flight dresser. And, and because of that, you know, people start dressing, it motivates you to get even better. Like, oh, okay, they copying my style. Let me go with this style. Oh, they copying this style. Let me go with this style. And throughout my history, all I did was set trends and, you know, gave dudes flavor. You know what I mean? Gave dudes, you know, a sense of direction. I gave them, you know, what route we was going to go. You know, like I said, look at that, man. I wore the Gazelle glasses 20-something years ago. Now you see everybody wearing them.
Yeah, they're making their appearance back.
Yeah, they're #1 sale. But I wore them, you know, didn't nobody like them.
Yeah.
When people thought they was some goofy looking glasses. You know, so, you know, I mean, setting trends and willing to go and step out on a limb and create your own fashion and dress the way you feel, you know, that is appropriate for you is one of the things that, you know, I encourage anybody, whether you're in the business world, you know, even if you know, I mean, if you're in the business world, it's okay to take off that red tie, the blue tie, and throw on the tie, you know, with some colors in it, you know, because people are going to laugh at you. At first, they say that's not conservative, you know, that's not business-like, but sometimes you got to step outside the box.
Yeah.
You know, people who win are people who step outside the box, who dare to be different.
Too cool to come 24/7.